What's up, guys? Welcome back to another flight sim tutorial. I'm your host, David on the Reg, and I'll be showing you guys how to perfectly land a plane with the ILS. And I'll see you guys in the video. Alright, guys, and we are actually a few waypoints away from actually hitting our destination. We are actually flying from Seattle to the Boeing field, which is right over to the left, and there we are. We're turning using our autopilot. And if you guys, wonder if you guys are wondering how to actually use the autopilot, I did do a video on that, and also I did also make a video on how to set up flight plan. So just click on my channel and scroll down, and you'll see a whole playlist on my tutorials. You guys can check those out. But this video is specifically on how to land with an ILS. So first and foremost, we're just gonna pause our game here, right? So we don't overshoot this, because I'll be breaking it down a tad bit here. So let's go to world and map and actually check out where it is that we're landing. So wow, this is something right here. Wow, this actually really does look confusing, but I assure you it's not. So we are flying from this is Seattle, and we're flying, actually no, this is Seattle, and we're landing right here, right? We took off on 16 left, so we are heading this way. But if we were to be going the other direction, I would have taken off and did another loop and landed. The cool thing about this airport here, the Boeing field, I guess it's not an airport, it's more just like a test field, is that, yeah, there's only one, actually, no, I think there are two. Yeah, there are two. There are two runways, but they provide, or they all provide, ILS landings. So if we zoom in here, the runway that we're actually landing on, you can see a glide slope. So this big green arrow here, this right here is the glide slope, right? The glide slope works with the poppy lights, which is great. And if you click on the glide slope, so the glide slope for 31 left, click on it, make sure it says 31 left here, and this is where you're gonna start to actually want to write stuff down. So 31 left, we'll be landing on 31 left, and our ILS frequency, this frequency right here, is 110.90 megahertz. So you want to write that down. And our heading is 310. So just make sure you have that written down somewhere, because we'll be punching it into our airplane. And here's our plane right here. We're lining up with this line. Then we'll cut, line up with that. And then this final waypoint slope here will line us up straight with the airport. But I'll show you guys how to actually turn this line right here into an ILS line and actually put it into your GPS system. So let's unpause, right? And we got these three numbers. So we know that we're landing on 31 left. We know that our frequency is 110.9, and our heading is 310. So zoom in on your nav panel here. This is your course. So we're going to turn this down to 310, which is our heading. Some people get the ILS heading confused with the normal heading. This is basically just your GPS heading. This is where you want to put your ILS in. All right. And at this time, we will. We'll also turn ourselves down to 3,000. Turn our altitude down to 3,000 feet. There we are. All right. And then what you also want to do is bring out your flaps. And just because we actually just took off, I'm just going to leave our flaps at, I believe they should be at 10. No, they're at 5. All right. I'll just leave our flaps at 5. And then to put in our ILS frequency, you want to come down here to your nav panel. Make sure you're either selecting nav 1 or nav 2, and just turn it up or down to 110.9 or whatever ILS frequency it is that you're landing on. So 110.9er, switch that over to the active frequency side, and also turn it on right down below. And that light right in the middle should turn on. All right. So we are taking a left, line up with that second last line, and there we are. We can actually hear our Morse code come in, so I'm going to turn that off. Make sure you actually hear it, right? And then now you want to do Shift 3 on your keyboard. And this is going to bring up your GPS. This is the G500, which actually exists on smaller aircrafts. Not the one that we're actually flying, though. Now, want to turn our speed down to 1. Let's do 150, right? We're on our final slope here. Right, so we want to go to Procedures, select Approach. Yes, we want to select Approach, and we're landing on 31 left. So use a smaller dial here on the bottom right and turn it to 31 left. It's an ILS. Enter. We want vectors. That's the only thing that's available. Sometimes there will actually be more. We'll load them in. And here you are. So if we zoom out, we got an overlapping line, right? And the thing is that I'm actually going to activate it right there. So we're going to line up with that line. Leave it on GPS. It'll line it up for you. And if you zoom out, it also puts you in a holding pattern just in case you somehow don't make it, right? Now at this time, we're going to switch our navigation over to NAV, which is nav. We're not on GPS anymore. And right here, you can actually see our glide slope coming down. So right as it hits our middle line right there, as that diamond hits that middle line, you actually want to hit APP for approach, and that's going to put you in for approach, and your ILS will basically take over your altitude. So 5, 4, 3, right as it hits the middle, there you are, approach. Altitude just came off. It's going to take over our altitude, and there is the the landing strip right in front of us. And poppy lights to the left, 2 white, 2 red. We're pretty much aligned, at least for our altitude, and there you have it. So we just took off from Seattle, right? And we're landing right over here at the Boeing field, which is great. And let's give ourselves a few, 5 more degrees of flaps. We're at 10. There we are. Basically, all you have to do is wait till you touch down. Let's turn that light on. Right. So all you have to do is wait till you touch down, and then all you'll have to do, or actually, right as you hover over to the number, once you fly over the numbers, all you gotta do is turn all these off, and then turn on your reverse thrusters. Easy enough. Sounds like it is easy enough for me. Let's just turn off our what you calls it, our FMC there. And by the way, once you land, you also want to make sure that you pull your thrusters back because it will not do it for you. All right. Now they're at 15,000 feet. I'm going to pull down our landing gear. There we are. Airport's right in front of us. Sometimes you do also want to trim the nose a tad bit up, just to flare a tad bit easier. I've been lagging all day, don't know what's going on. Right, 13,000 feet. If your aircraft does support auto braking, mine does. The aircraft that I'm flying does. Just want to turn the auto brake just onto max, and then right down here for your speed brakes, shift question mark or shift /, and it'll put it into the arm position. There's the airport right in front of us, and right as we hover over the numbers or fly over the numbers, I'm going to take off speed, approach, and CMDA. And also, while you're landing, you do also want to look at your runway markers. So we'll be aiming for those 2 markers right over there. And right as long as you're actually aiming for those, you should land perfectly fine. Disregard your pappy lights as you get closer on or closer to the runway because they're not as accurate once you get closer. All right. So there we have it. So we are already flaring just a tad bit. Let's give ourselves another 5 degrees of flaps. There we have it. Right, and I'll be taking off our speed, approach, and autopilot once we hit these numbers. So about a 5, 4, 3, 2, speed's off. Put your speed to idle. You want to flare just a tad bit there. And there's our touchdown. Turn on your reverse thrusters. And just guide yourself down the runway. I usually like taking off reverse thrusters when I hit 60. We're already down. Turn off your auto brake, and now you can taxi. Uh-oh, whoa. That was just a tad bit of lag there. Now we're just gonna get down to, can we make 20? Yeah, we can. There we are. And we'll just be taxiing off the runway. There we are. What a perfect landing. That landing was just a tad bit laggy, but that's just my connection to the Eastern Hop server right now. It's not usually like that. I should have done this. I should have done this on multiplayer, but whatever. Alright, and there we have it. Let's put on our parking brakes. Clean up our aircraft. Lights. Lights off. We can leave our taxi lights on. Runway lights off. There we have it. So that right there is how you actually land with ILS. And I think we only took like half the runway. Yeah, we did. Look at that. We only used up half the runway, which is great. And yeah. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember to go down, comment down below, comment your, I don't know, Steam name, or just comment your name or whatever, and I'll give you guys a shout out in the next video. Also, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll see you guys in the next Flight Sim video. Peace out.